create a package. Alright, I will show to you guys how the thing works. They will create a package, and this package will contain all the 2D sheets and 3D views. Now, this 2D sheet, this 2D and 3D is controlled by the published sets that you have in Revit. So if you created 5 or 6 published sets in Revit, alright, you will create a package and you can choose whatever sets that you want to publish. Now, when they create the package and they send it out to the shared folder. Now, what the architects need to do, the architects actually at the same time, the architects is doing the Revit model as well. Alright? Now, they will receive a notification saying that, hey, structural engineer shared their model. Alright? Now, you go in and view. Alright? You go in, view, verify whether the models is in order, is properly done, and so on. Now, the architect will have the options to use that model or not to use the model. Now, when the architect say that, hey, I'm ready, the model, it seems good, I want to put that into my model. What they can do here is they can create, they can click a button called consume. Even that, they will use the structure model into their Revit models, alright, merge into one single model. Now, once they click on that one, they will create a copy into a folder called consume folder in architectural space. Okay? Now, as usual, the architect will go into BIM 360 docs, link the structure model into their Revit, and continue their work. Right? This is what we are doing normally. Right? Now, things will happen saying that, now, the structure engineer working on version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5, and so on. So, it happens maybe the structure engineer said that, hey, I'm not going to share my version 2 because it's incomplete, alright? I haven't made the necessary modification. So I'm not going to share my version 2. On version 3, right, the structure engineer said that, okay, I'm ready to publish it out. So again, they will click, create a package, a second package that contains the latest 2D sheets and 3D view. Now, architect will receive a notification again saying that structure engineer modified that and already created a package. They will go in and verify the models. Now, once they go in, they can click on show changes, like what we did earlier on. They can see what is the changes between these two models, right? Between these two versions. So again, they verify. They say that, hey, this model is it seems okay. Now I want to use that for my modeling stage. Again, they will click consume. They will go into a consume folder. Now, what will happen here is the first version of Revit, the structure model, is already in the consume folder. Now you are replacing that model. When you open up your Revit, the models, the structure model will be updated immediately. Alright? Now, this is the workflow in BIM 360 design where people can send a package, you can review, alright? You can consume it whenever you want it, alright? And you can see the changes before you consume it, and you can link the Revit models and it will automatically update it. Right? Those are one of the workflow by using the design collaboration. Okay? Now, I have a question here is from some of my customers saying that this is very tedious, this is not the way we work, we want to be live, updated. I don't care the structural engineer done their work or not, I want to be live immediate. So what will happen here is you can use back the old way, how you do it in C4R. Alright? You can ignore whatever package, consume, blah blah blah. Do it like how you do it in C4R. Create a folder, link that models into your Revit, and do it as usual. Right? Yes. I'll go through into that one later on. Now, this is the tool workflow that you can use the BIM 360 design. Use it as C4R, right? Because a lot of customers are comfortable with that. Or you use the consume design collaboration workflow. Now, how to do that is pretty simple. I showed to you on this one, project case here. I'm testing on this one. Now, if I go into design collaboration tab, let me just turn off this one. Right. Where is it? Yeah, there you go. Okay. When I go into the design collaboration tab, first of all, if I go into project managers, I can create my own teams, right? Architecture team, structure team, M&E, civil, blah, blah, blah. Even architecture, I can create a few teams. superstructure, substructure, podiums, maybe typical. Alright, MEP I can split into field, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, fire, structural. Maybe I can just remain as one. I can create as many packages as I want. Right? To do an add themes is simple. Give a name, alright, and you find where is the location that you want to do. Right? For me, I want to be put under document, design space folder. I want to put into a subfolders and so on. Right? My 4G is very bad. I think because of the sharings of number of people here. But that's how we do it. Put a name, select the locations. That's one method. Right? Second method here is if you already have the folder, you can just click on the folder itself. Like for example, I go into documents, I go to permits or correspondence maybe, and I say that add theme. So both ways it will create a theme for you. Right? Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 themes here. Now let me just go back into my design collaboration. Now in the design collaborations, you will see 4 themes here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if I look on this swim lane, immediately I can figure out who created a package, when and where. When is the latest drawing. Right? Like for example, architects, they have a latest drawing which is on 3rd of May, and then interior designer updated which is 2nd of May, and then structural engineer which is 2nd of May, and MEP is the worst one, the last that they created which is on I think this one is 5th of April, right? So immediately from here I will be able to see where is the latest drawing that they created or they create a package. Now, let's look at, let's say that for example, I'm the architect. Alright? I created my model, I uploaded my central file, and this is my models. I can click on the project models to look at the models and so on. Right? The internet is very slow. By default, it should appear quite fast in this space here. Now, let's say that I'm an architect. Today I uploaded a new version. The 9th version of my models. Okay, I've updated the roof, I've changed the roof and so on. So what I need to do here is I can just go into Revit. Alright, let me just open up one of the models here. Let me see. I think it's this one. Right, what will happen here is, let's say that today I'm the architect. I will make some changes on the roof, and I want to publish it for all the consultants to use that. So what will happen here is, all this while I'm just doing the sync. Today I'm going to publish it, and I'm going to go to the manage cloud models. But before I go into manage cloud models, I say that, hey, I just want to publish my drawings and also my drawing sheets. The rest I want to keep it. So 3D views, it contains all the view, drawing sheets contains all the drawing. I can even create more sets if I want to control that. Now I only want to publish these two. I go to publish cloud models. And what can I do it from here is I can just go into my project KC, look for the project file, right? And I click reload publish new. I think this is one of it, right? There's a one called publish latest. So when I click on this one, what will happen here is, by the time it's done, you should be able to see your models in your Revit, which is the design documentation folder here. From version 4, it will become version 5. Now, once I've done that, me as architect, I said that this is a complete model. I want to share it out to my structural engineer, MEP, interior designers, and so on. So what can I do? I can just go into the design collaborations, and I go to the architecture folder here, and I say that create a new package. Now, what will happen is once you create a new package, you'll be able to see on the left-hand side here is the list of the sets that we set it up in Revit. Alright? I've set 1, set 2, set 3. Now, even though I publish everything, but I want to share my 3D and only the drawing sheets to my consultants. So I click save, and I click save package. Now, once I save that, I can share it out to all the consultants. Once I share the package out to everyone, okay, structural engineer, M&E, and interior designer will receive a notification saying that, hey, there's a package from the architects, right, which is today's date. Now, what they will do here is they will go in and say that, hey, there's a new package here. They will click on it and they can click on explore. Explore, it means that they will open up a Revit model, all right? Now, once they open up a Revit model, they can view it and they can click on show changes and see what is the change between this version and the previous version, all right? I can show you one example. I click the older package and I can click explore and I can click show changes. Oh no, I don't have anything. Let me see if I have this one. Ah, okay. I don't have any changes over here. Now, what will happen here is by the time the structural engineer or anyone saying that, hey, let's say that I'm the structural engineer right now, all right? Structural engineer say that they will go into the architecture folder, architecture stream name, and they say that, hey, this is the one that latest created by the architect, right? They can explore, they can view what is going on. Now, if they realize that, say that, hey, this model is good enough, and this model, I can use it for my project, and I can click on consume. What will happen here is, the architectural model, okay, the system will create a copy into a structural folder. Now, if I go into my document management, right? I go into my document management. If I go into my structural folder, right? It should be here. If I go into my structural folder and there's one consume folder here, I go into consume, you should be able to see there's one architectural folder and interior. Because I consume two models, interior and architectural, I go in here, a copy of the Revit model is in here with the latest version. Now, the flow is, I have to go into Revit. Now, if I want to continue to work on my model, I go into the insert, link Revit file, go to this consume folder. You are not going into architectural folder, you are going into this consume folder, all right? Because architectural folders and consume folder is different. Consume is the folders that contains the Revit model that you already verified and you want to use it. The architectural folders that owns by the architect, it might have a different version that you don't want to use it at this stage, right? You can control that easily from this one, right? Now, any question on the BIM 360 design?
If I'm the structural engineer and I click the consume, I have to go to, when I go back to the Revit, I have to link to the subdirectory consume from the architect or from my structure.
From my structure.
From my structure, right?
Always remember that you are the structural engineer, you own the structural folder, all the link files is in there.
In the consume. That
Yes.
consume from architect, consume from MEP, it will be in our own name.
There's another reason why we're doing that is because let's say that you are working in a large scales of consultant. For you to find where is their folders and so on is very difficult, alright? And for you to see which is the Revit file that is the right Revit file is very difficult. So by doing so, I just need to go to the design collaboration. I don't need to care where is their folders, which one is the model. All I need to do here is go to the design collaboration, check the version that I want to use and click consume, and I only need to take care of my own folders. Alright? Because the consume folder is in my own folders. Alright? Now, any more questions on this one? Okay, John.
Look, for the activation of the BIM 360 design licenses, right, or the collaboration piece, right, is it when you add team members from the team or when you invite them to the project?
Two. One is you need to activate in the project admin, go to services, you need to activate the design collaboration first. That's first step.
Yeah.
And you assign a project manager, project admin for the design collaboration. Then you start to add the members in. When you add the members in, you give them the access of the design collaborations.
So that means that whenever you add people inside the project, that's taking the license already.
No, not
Means
yet.
you're assigning the licenses to them
Yeah,
already.
we assign the license.
Then the access will be on this page, right, where you invite the team members, which already has the licenses. Yes?
Yes.
So meaning you have to assign the user emails first when you invite them to the project. Then second step is to invite them as part of the team member. Correct?
Yes.
Given that they have the licenses already.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. First thing first is you invite the project admin, and then you need to give the access to design collaboration.
So that's already taking the license, right?
Yes, that's already taken. The license is calculated based on this list here.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Anything with the design collaborations? Normally, at this moment, I don't show this kind of workflow to the client. I just show them the design collaboration. I explain to whatever that is going on the swim lane, and then I just show them this kind of workflow to them. This is more details. I have one simplified version to do that. Now, those are what happens for the design collaboration. Yeah.
Okay, I just have this question. I mean,
if you have multiple projects, right,
Uh-huh.
and you invite the same person for different project, how is the license being consumed?
As one.
Just one person.
Let's say that I'm the developer. I appoint you for 3 projects, all right? And all 3 are using design. We only consider as one, because we still tag on the tagline the animated projects.
So if the person is assigned, how say this, on one project is assigned for field, the other project is actually for what is that, blue. So that person consumes 2 licenses, right? But for all projects, if let's say there is another project that is in, and you just use glue, so that's just 2 licenses as well.
2 also.
All right.
Okay, one more question. Could you please go back to the document management page and architectures team, architectures directory. The question is, inside the subdirectory, for example, architectures or structure or MVP, we can have more than one file, right? Architecture.
Oh yeah, you can have more than one.
Architectural. Yeah. Click architectural. Yeah. Okay, then,
I can have
this
more
is your
than one.
question? We can have more than one file.
Whatever. So can you guys imagine, let's say that I'm the architect, I'm throwing 5 or 6 files in there. You are the software engineer, you go into my folder, you don't know which one that you need to link. So by using the consume, I know exactly what folders are, what models that I need to link to my projects. Alright? Now, this is during the design stage, but at the same time, a design stage, you need to do a collaboration. So to do a collaboration is very simple. I did show you the steps here. The first thing first, when you click on model coordination, they will ask you to choose the folders that you want to collaborate. Right? In my case, I already assigned the model coordination folder as these coordination folders here. Give me a minute. Right? This one here, number 11 coordination. I assign model coordination to this particular folder. So what will happen here is now I'm asking all the consultants to dump their Revit model into this space. So architectural, structural, MEP, systems, furnitures, and so on. They will dump to the exact folders, right? So what will happen here is your BIM 360 glue or the model coordination space, all right? All you need to do here is you click on the model coordination. They will detect all the models in there. They will give you a list. Alright? Now, there's a two purpose for the model coordination. One is you can view your federated models here. You can choose whatever that you want to view as one single model. Now, this one is quite useful because some of the BIM consultants or the BIM managers or anyone, they want to see a federated models, what is going on the particular model. Now, the only thing that is lacking right now that we cannot point the markups or the issues directly here. Alright? Yep.
These federated models are just for
Viewing purposes.
RBT,
RBT.
no IFC.
No, I haven't tried IFC, but I think it's only RBT at this moment. But I can try the IFC that now.
What is the size, maximum size of models that we can actually load?
Okay. At this moment, we don't have the limit. What the product team told us is, you dump your model in. If you face the viewing issue, let them know, and they will fix it at the back end. We tried that. No, serious. We tried that. There's a couple of customers. They dump a huge files and they cannot view that, and we report that and they fix that. It depends how fast. If I'm not mistaken, within 1 week, there's one within 1 week, and there's one within a few days because of the certain bug inside.
Yeah, and I think we're actually going to encourage,
internally we're actually being encouraged to dump the largest models that we can find into BIM 360 docs, just to push it. Because for those of you who did not attend the infrastructure track, where we've actually shown an InfraWorks model on the same viewer. So just to give an idea, roughly InfraWorks models can range from hundreds of meg to gigabytes in file size. So we're trying to make sure that we get the product team test out the biggest models to optimize or at least improve the performance. And it has improved. So for those of you who've been playing around with BIM 360 docs, if you upload the same size of model, you'll see a significant improvement in how you'll navigate around the large model viewer. So my suggestion, try to test it out. Try and test it out. If you have the same model that, this one is not really a test, if you ask me. Try a sizable model and let us know if there are any issues. This is a...
No, this one I'm testing on the features and the workflow.
Yeah.
That's why I use a small model so that I can easily upload and download.
Yeah, for the workflow. Yeah, not on the performance, but I think performance-wise, I've seen a huge improvement.
To open, there are two things, right? So the inability to display is one. The other one is how long does it take to actually load?
Yeah. So again, it will depend on your internet speed, which is something that we mentioned earlier on. It's quite important to have stable internet in the construction site. It's no longer an argument right now for our customers not to have internet in the construction site.
So the word is stable, not fast.
Stable? Well, if you can have fast, if you can have both, then yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, 10 Mbps would be the recommended one. Before, they were saying around 6 Mbps.
By the way, in terms of the internet speed, regardless you have 10 meg or 50 meg or maybe 1 gigabyte speed, alright? If the uploading speed, okay, maybe 10 is a little bit too low to compare. Let's say that you have a 50 meg download and upload speed. Compared with the 500 megabyte download and upload speed. Actually, the speed that for you to download and upload is the same. Alright? Because the bottleneck is not on our side, but it's on the Autodesk server. Alright? You might be facing an issue or not issue, you might be facing a situation where you're using 10 megs download and upload speed with someone in Singapore that using 500 or 1 gigabyte speed, the download and upload speed is the same. Because the bottleneck is in Autodesk server, not on your side. Of course, if you compare with 1-2 meg, of course you can see a difference. But if your internet speed is fast enough, then you won't see much difference on that one. Alright?
I have a suggestion like that. As I know, BIM 360 can integration with Dropbox or Google Drive. You know, I never tried before, but I think it's a good way you can use Dropbox or Google Drive, upload the model, 100 gigabyte. I think it's easy, and then move the data to doc and move. I think I never tried it before, but I think it is a solution. What do you think? Is it?
I showed you guys later on about this kind of integration together with the desktop connector. Alright, I put it at the later on. Now, you have any question on the design collaboration? Anything?
What is the part that recommend to create the project or the plan part or the project? Or can do either of those?
If I'm not mistaken, coordination you only can do it at the plan level. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but someone told me that also can do at the project level.
I don't know, but if you can do it in the project level, I'd rather do it in project level. I'm just testing one or two. You can see my models, even though the shared coordinates is not properly done yet.
Because when we put it in the plan part, it will extract the data, right? That will take the time. But if some of you can go back and try at the project level, because it's a project level, if you can use it, it will not waste the time for the extracting the data.
Alright. So now, back to this one. This one we read the shared coordinates in Revit, and they will put everything together. Now, this one is a preview version. We are working on the issues so that you can tag your issues directly from this model. We are working on that one. We haven't released the features yet, but it's still in the beta testing. Now, whatever that you can see here is viewing the federated model. The other thing here is you can click on the clashes. Immediately they will give you a report on the clashes between models. Rows against the columns, structure against the equipment, structure against the system, mechanical, architectural, and so on. All you need to do here is you can click on the any of the tab here. It will show to you the list on the clashes, and at the same time it will give you the element ID, so you can go back into Revit and make the changes and so on. Alright? So at this moment you can see this is a list you can do. You cannot do anything with this list, only for viewing purposes. We are in the pipeline that we're gonna have the options that you can choose whether this one is issue, this one is a clash or not a clash. Alright, just like in Navisworks, we can select that. You know that sometimes the slab clash with the columns or certain things is not considered as a clash, right? Because of the certain joints or because we're gonna punch the sleeve on site. So we're gonna do that later on. So you're gonna see more and more enhancement in glue coming soon. Alright, now. Quickly move on the model coordination. Those are the pre-construction. Now we move into a construction stage. Alright. First of all, if you go into a construction stage, project managers or supervisor, they always go to the site to do two things. One is they will bring an A3 size paper, walk around and see if there any issue. They will do a markup on the paper itself, take a photo, go back to the office, scan it, and then inform the main con or the subcons to do that, right? That's one for the site visit. Second thing here is if your subcontractor done the installation, you go in and verify whether the installation is properly done, whether the is any leakage. You want to do a QA/QC, you want to do whether the leakage anything is done properly in order or not. So basically, you can just use the field management to do that. Now, let's look at the first workflow where you go to the site visit, you walk around and see something going on. Now, because we are in touch with the document management, you can pull back all the documents or the drawing in your document management for the site visit. So you can go with the iPad, alright? Let me try whether it works. Right, I don't know the internet speed here, let me try that. So just imagine that I'm using an iPad to go to the site, I open it up. This is the exact folder that you guys are looking at in the BIM 360 docs earlier on. I open up, I look at the elevation, I look at the ground floor, lower ground, whatever drawings that I want to open up from here. Now, there's one major difference is if you realize that there's an issue on site, you don't raise the issue as an issue, but you raise the issue as a field issue. Now we have two types of issues, right? One is a document issue during the design and pre-con stage, and we have another issue what we call is a field issue. It's a totally separate thing, right? The reason why I split it up because the attention, the one that working on it is different. This one could be the main con and sub-con, but document issue could be the engineers, consultants, maybe the architects and so on. Now same thing, you can click on the issue, select the location, fill out the information, just like what we did with the issue earlier on. Now the additional tab we have here is called root cause. Now we can categorize the issue. Is it because of the workmanship, because of the graders? Is it because of the planning is wrong? Is it because of the materials or whatever? So one of the reasons that why we want to have a root cause is at the end of the day you can see a report. All this issue is because of what? Is it because of the sub-con performance? Is it because the wrong planning? Is it because we ordered the wrong materials and so on? Now, I always advise the customer to, the technical to always to use the iPad and also the iPhone to do a presentation. I don't know Android, they have released the version for Android already or not. Alright, now, if anyone have the Android right now, you can just help me to verify, go to your Google Play, search for the app called BIM 360. Not BIM 360 Docs, not Field, not Glue, not Plan, but BIM 360, this one. Alright, so if you guys have any Android, just help me to search whether you guys have it right now. Now, if I'm using the iPad or iPhone, immediately I can take a picture. You can show it to your customer. Take a picture. Alright, and this picture, of course, you can do a markup as usual. Alright, put in the remarks over there and put it as part of the attachment. Now, photos is very important on site because it's easier for you to explain what is going on site. You key in the details, blah blah blah, you key in the description, assign to who, location is where, and so on. Now, location here is preset. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, Zone 5. You already preset that in the admin's right or the admin's location there. Later I'll show to you how to set it up. It's customizable. You can create your own locations, but